Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to a new review. For today we have another affordable action camera called the MGCOOL Explorer 1S. And if you remember, we had another action camera from the same brand a couple of weeks ago, and that one was called the Explorer ES. So this one here costs about $55 to $60, of course it depends where you buy it from, and it has the Novatek 96660 CPU and the Sony IMX 078 image sensor. For a super quick unboxing, this camera comes in a black box. The box doesn't have any information on it, and inside you're gonna find the camera and the waterproof case. Now the manufacturer suggests that the waterproof case is good to up to 30 meters in the water. However, I didn't actually go swimming, so I can't really tell you if that's true or not. Aside from that, you're gonna find the user manual. The user manual is in English and it's got a whole bunch of instructions. And aside from that, you're gonna find some mounts and stickers. However, this camera doesn't come with all the mounts and accessories that we've seen for other action cameras in the past. Supposedly, this camera can record in 4K at 30 frames per second, but as I told you in the past, the Novatek 96660 CPU doesn't support 4K recordings. Therefore, anything that you would record in 4K, it's in fact a 2K recording that's interpolated to 4K recording. But this is the same for all cheaper action cameras. So this camera here has an HDR mode and also a stabilization mode. Unfortunately, the stabilization mode, it's either faked or it doesn't work on my camera, and here is an example of the stabilization on and the stabilization off. And as you've seen, there is no difference with the stabilization on and the stabilization off. Now, it could be that the unit that I have is defective and maybe all the other ones work fine, but as of now I can't really confirm if the stabilization actually works or not on this camera. Now, the camera looks like all the other cameras that we've seen in the past. So it is made out of plastic. On the front we have the lens and the power button and of course the brand name. On top we have an LED light and also an OK and the recording button. On the right hand side you're gonna find two buttons. One of them it's up, one of them it's down, and you can actually turn on the Wi-Fi network if you just press the button up. On the other side we have an HDMI port and a micro USB charging port, so you can use this camera whenever you are charging it. So if you have a cable plugged in, you can still record whenever the camera is charging. And this camera also supports that car mode where the camera turns on and off depending if the car is on or off. Aside from that, you're gonna find a slot for an SD card and a microphone. And now I want to show you a couple of sample recordings so you can see how the microphone sounds. This is our first microphone test to the Explorer 1S. As you can tell, I am inside and there is no other noise aside from my voice. This is our second microphone test. As you can probably tell, I am outside and it is a bit windy, but aside from that you should only hear my voice. And as you've heard, the microphone doesn't sound too bad, but if you're gonna be further away from the camera, I highly doubt that the microphone will actually catch anything. Now we are moving back to the camera, so all the way at the bottom you're gonna find a slot for the battery. The battery's capacity is 1050 milliamps and it will allow you to record for about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes at 1080p at 60 frames per second. And lastly, on the back of the camera we have a 2-inch display that doesn't have the best viewing angles and it doesn't get that bright, so if you're not looking right at the screen you won't be able to see that much. Next I want to show you some recordings that I've done during the day, and you're probably gonna see that they do look very good. However, they are very shaky because we don't have any type of image stabilization, but I'm gonna let you watch them. And as you've seen, they do look very good, but they're very shaky. Next we are gonna check out some recordings that I've done at nighttime. And as you've seen, the nighttime recordings aren't bad, but they're very far from exceptional. And we might as well check out some pictures that I took with this camera. So if you have a lot of light, the pictures do turn out quite well, and they have a lot of detail, you know, the colors are nice and vibrant. But as soon as you don't have enough light, well, they become grainy, but that's pretty much normal for all these cheaper action cameras. So of course, all the pictures that you've just seen were actually taken on this camera. This camera can also make a Wi-Fi network, and that means that you can control this from your smartphone. So first of all, you're gonna have to download an app on your smartphone. So the app is called the Explorer 1S, and you can find that in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Next, you're gonna turn on the Wi-Fi network on the camera, and then you're gonna search for Wi-Fi networks with your smartphone and connect to the camera. And once you're connected, you can just open the app and you can basically see anything that the camera sees. From the app, you can start taking pictures, you can start video recordings, you can also view whatever files you have on the camera, and you can actually download those right on your smartphone. And of course, you can change the settings. So if you want to change the video resolution or the picture resolution, you can do that from the app. And lastly, using the camera, it's very simple. So we have the power button or the mode button on the front. So first of all, you turn on the camera from that button, and then you can switch in between modes from that button. So you press the button once and you're gonna be in the video recording mode, press it again, you're gonna be in the picture taking mode, press it again and you can see whatever you have on the camera, so any videos or pictures, and press that again and you're gonna get to the settings. In there you have a whole bunch of options. So first of all, you can change the video resolution, and as I said at the beginning, you could select 4K at 30 frames per second. You can turn on or off the microphone, you can turn on or off the HDR mode. You could turn on or off the gyro stabilization. However, as we talked about earlier, that doesn't exactly work. You can also change the languages, format the camera to factory settings and so on. So definitely a lot of options in there. And there you have it. This is the MGCOOL Explorer 1S. So just like the Explorer ES, it's not that great. Even though it costs only about $55 to $60, yeah, it's not that great. So if you're looking for a better camera, I would recommend that you check out that Apeman A80 that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, because that one seemed much better than this one, and it was only like 10 bucks more expensive. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.